Hi folks, I received my Seyco ST-21 scroll saw this week. Didn't have a chance to put it together right away, but I'm going to do it today, and I'd like to make a little video about it because there doesn't seem to be many videos about these Seyco products online. Steve Good does have a good video, but I think I can make one as well, which will be more simple. I am not paid or endorsed or hired, employed by any scroll saw manufacturer. I'm just a regular Joe. Bought a piece of equipment, going to put it together, and I'm going to give you the highs and lows, give you my honest opinion, and we'll see how things work out. I might even try to do a little bit of scrolling, see how things go. Now, I'm not going to video the entire assembly process. I'll speed up the video. If there's any high points or low points that I need to make note of, I will make note of those to save from any confusion. So I did open the box earlier this week when I got it and took out the owner's manual because I wanted to go through it 2 or 3 times to see what I was up against. It doesn't seem to be too bad, but we're going to empty out the box and I'm going to take all the parts out and give you a parts breakdown and show you what's what as far as what goes where and how you should do it according to the owner's manual. And we'll take it from there, okay? Okay, so the box was a little beat up, but I can't fault Seyco for that. This thing comes all the way from Texas and I live out in the sticks, so not surprised the box is not in excellent condition. But I did have a nice little handwritten note here that said that the legs are in the bottom of the box. Now, evidently, they have had issues with people throwing stuff out. So I got the parts laid out here. And here we have the scroll saw head itself with the power cord. You have the leg extensions and the leveling knobs. You got 4 legs. These are for this set is for to mount the table on. These are the cross pieces, and these are for the back. Now, for the front and rear portions, there's a little bend. You see how that's bent outwards right here? Okay, these, for the front and back, this being the back, the front and back portions, that bend needs to be out because the saw legs are at an angle. In order to compensate for that angle, to have it plumb and square, these need to be bent out. So this being the back, this being the front. Got all our nuts and bolts. You've got 2 sizes, nuts and bolts. You've got 3/4 and 1/2 inch. The 3/4 inch are going to be used when you mount these plates to the legs. Got all your washers, all your nuts, and these shorter ones will be for when you're putting these items together here due to the thin steel. Now, I segregated, the table is here, and I segregated the table parts. You've got your bushings, your washers, and these nuts here are lock nuts. They're used to fasten this to the stand. Also got the tilt indicator, the machinist square, and the Allen head screws that fasten the table to the frame. This is also your tilting knob to secure the level on your head. Instead of a rack and pinion, this is like a sliding kind of deal. So we're going to start putting this puppy together, and I'm going to speed up the video. If there's anything important that I feel that you may need to know in assembling this thing, I'll make note of that later. Okay, so we have the stand all put together now, and a little reminder, on observation, when you put the stand together, you want to make sure that everything is just finger tight so you can move stuff around to line up the holes and stuff. You don't want to tighten anything up right away. A little observation I made is that in the front here, it's kind of hard to see, but in the front plate mounts behind the leg. The rear plate mounts in front of the leg. Okay, this really wasn't that hard. You do want to put a little piece of cloth on this area when you're feeding the head in. You do not want to lift this ever from the top arm. Always use the bottom arm and hold back here, okay? Another little thing that tripped me up was these braces here. There is a flat portion that needs to go facing up when you put your cross supports. Now, so now that everything is put together correctly and only finger tight, table's mounted, the head is mounted, everything is mounted, we're going to go ahead and tighten stuff up. Okay, so before we torque down the table, we need to line up our blade hole between the top and bottom chuck. So what I did is I installed an 02 blade, or a 2.0 blade, smallest blade available, because that's 90% of what I use. And we're going to lower the arm and try to get it into the bottom blade holder. So I'm going to go ahead and pop that in there. Just give me a second. Let's say, so as you can see, our blade is offset in relation to the hole. Torque this down here a bit. It's really not that bad, to be honest with you, but I am going to slide the table around just a little bit before I torque it down to get it as centered as possible. And that looks pretty good right there. So we're going to torque down the fasteners for the table, and we'll try some test cuts. Okay, so just an FYI, I've pushed it into its home. I square up the blade with the machinist square provided in the package, and I also zeroed out the angle. So everything is good. So we're going to turn this on and we'll see what it sounds like. And you hear nothing. It's very, very, very quiet. All right. So I'll get us a piece of wood and I'll do a little test cut and we'll see what develops. Stand by. So the tensioning on this seems to be perfect. I kind of like this angled air blower dealy thing here. It blows the dust away from you instead of on you. One thing I found odd is that there's supposed to be a dust collector provided, but it is not there. So whatever the case. So we're going to try a few little curves here and we'll see what happens. I can tell you right now that this is really nice to use. It's smooth, it's quiet, there's no noise. It's just a really nice saw. I may do a follow-up video to see, let you know how things are going with this. So far, I don't see anything wrong. The blade clamps, appear to be half decent. I really like this tensioning setup. That's something new for me. I'm not used to that. This is my old saw. Well, old saw. It's only a few months old. It's not a bad saw. It's a quote-unquote top-of-the-line Canadian Tire brand Maximum. I was actually impressed with the saw when I bought it because it's fairly quiet. But, you know, it's not a bargain basement saw, but it's like halfway down the stairs. So, you know, it got me by, but I wanted to get into this on a deeper level, so I bought the Seyco. So far, very happy. I may do a follow-up video a little later. It probably took me maybe a total of 20 minutes to put the stand together. And once I've done it once, I could probably do one in 10 now. It's fairly easy. There's really nothing that tricky there, you know. Cup of coffee and have a puff now and then, and you'll be fine. This saw is also very adjustable for the aggressiveness of cut by this setup in the back here. I've never dealt with that, so if ever I do and I have problems, I will post videos to help anybody who's asking any questions. So I hope you liked the video, and I hope it helps people out. So y'all have a great day. Stay healthy.